So the junior from Nevada, Missouri is up with Sanderson. He sends a charge deep to right field. Basir will look up, he'll pucker up and kiss that baby goodbye. And Carey puts a charge into one. This one way out to center field. Did he go back to back? You bet he did. Back to back jacks for the Huskers. So up steps Rhett Stokes, hitting .263 on the season, only 5 hits, but he does have the double in the 5th. First swing, it's through for a base hit. 1 run is in. Steaming towards the plate is Buck, and Rhett Stokes says good night in Lincoln. Condler in the box, he awaits the 2-2. Katsky set at the belt, here's the rip. And he catches the outside corner for strike 3. So Cooper Katsky responds with a punch out after giving up the leadoff homer. And the first out of the inning is retired. Katsky sitting at the belt, 2-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. And he blew away Law for out number 3.
He's had some struggles this season, batting around 200 outside of the state of California, but he had a strong showing at least last night.
Takeuchi puts one on the ground to short. Carey to second for 1. On to first, a double play. 6-4-3 is the number combination.
But, I mean, this is a Nebraska lineup that is just dangerous head to toe.
As Grigo sends this one way out to left field. Take a good look, you won't see it for long. Put it on a postcard, he just hit it to Omaha. Drew Grigo, 3rd home run of the inning for the Huskers, and they are all over the Trojans right now. It's 7-0. The USC starting lineup for today, Isaac Cadena, the catcher, hitting leadoff. Kevin Takeuchi will make his second start of the season at third base after getting his first last night. Augie Lopez, who's hit 7 of his last 11 home runs, all in the last 3 weeks. Adrian Lopez will bat fourth and play first. Jack Basir in right. Andrew Lamb in left. Avery Covarrubias, the leading bag stealer for the Trojans, will hit 7th in the second base slot. Diego Velasquez, the two-way player, will take up the shortstop position. And Will Stickney will man center field for the Trojans, batting in the 9-hole. And we're going to look at the Husker arm on the mound today. It's the redshirt sophomore Carson Yasa, young guy out of Colorado, 6'7", 215 pounds. And Mike, this guy has got jet fuel in the tank.
I mean, absolutely. A fastball that's going to sit high 90s and might even touch triple digits on the gun. He's going to need to be on tonight. This is a USC offense that has struggled throughout the season, but they came out and had some strong stuff to start yesterday. Got out to a 5-0 lead through 3. Yasa's going to need some of his best stuff here this season.
Like Mike said, a 6-1 record, 4.34 ERA. He will face off against the hottest Trojan hitter in the batting order, the catcher Isaac Cadena. First pitch, we're underway, and it grooves over the heart of the plate for strike 1. First pitch time at 2:03 this afternoon. And Yasa already ahead 0-1.
Cadena was the lightning strike yesterday. Got the solo home run as the second batter of the game, and really just put a charge into this USC offense to start things off in the series.
Yasa spills an off-speed in the dirt, count even at 1-1. Cadena on the season, a .282 average, 33 hits, a .433 on base. As that slider runs inside, and Cadena jumps ahead 2-1. 3 homers, 18 RBIs. This is a USC lineup, Mike, that maybe doesn't hit for a lot of average, but certainly has power and extra base potential all throughout this lineup 1 through 9.
And they certainly do, and they drive in runs. That's the big thing that this USC team can do. And it's interesting to see Cadena getting moved up into the leadoff spot. It's not very often you see a catcher leading things off, but he gets moved up from the 2 up to the 1 here today.
Yeah, for a large portion of the season, it had been Avery Covarrubias, who's the leading bag stealer for the Trojans. He's already up to double-digit steals, has swiped 14 bags in his 18 attempts. He was the guy that throughout the majority of the season playing second base had batted leadoff, tried to get the Trojans to the spark plug spot, but with Cadena swinging the hot stick, no surprise for head coach Andy Stankiewicz to jump him up and get the hottest bat in the lineup, seeing the most ABs.
Yeah, he's had 3 home runs in these past 3 weeks. He hadn't had anything coming into the season, into a couple weeks ago, but it's really been for Cadena. He was the guy that they were saying he's going to be one of our power bats. It just took him a while to really get going, but these last few weeks, he's really starting to find a groove, and he's really been able to up his power.
The umpires for today, Doug Williams will call balls and strikes behind the plate. Seth Buckminster at first base. Aaron Christians will man the second base bag. And then David Condon, who had balls and strikes last night, will take over third base. The umpiring crew looking over to see if that off-speed ran in and hit Cadena on that 1-1 offering from Yasa. So while we're in a review delay, we'll take a second look at this from the side angle, and an off-speed that certainly ran in. From our point of view, from this backside, doesn't look like it catches a clip of the clothing, but there might be an alternate angle that the umpires are looking at that may indicate otherwise.
I mean, it's just kind of difficult to tell. I mean, from what we've seen so far, I'm not sure that there's anything there, but clearly something happened that maybe prompted this review, so we'll see what it is that possibly could have happened.
Well, in the all-time series, it was 4-3 USC heading into this weekend. It's now tied 4-4 after last night's 10-inning extravaganza. There's a USC baseball program, Mike, that boasts a lot of hardware, 12 national championships, but they're in a dry spell right now. Haven't won a national championship in baseball since 1998. Haven't seen the graces of Charles Schwab or the original Rosenblatt Stadium since 2001 when they made it. And we get a front look from our center field cam at this off-speed pitch that ran inside on the back leg of Isaac Cadena, and we'll get an official ruling. And it'll remain a 2-1 count. It didn't clip the clothing of Cadena, so no free pass for the Trojans. And it will stay a 2-1 count, and Cadena's got to get ready to hit again.
Yeah, that's going to be difficult here for Cadena, kind of just sitting off to the side for a few minutes. Let's see if he's able to kind of recover from that.
As Cadena gets the inside pitch again, this one he sprays foul, and Yasa's tagged it back to 2-2. Yasa on the season, 70 strikeouts. That leads the Husker pitching staff, but he's also got 28 walks. Opponents hitting 220. The 2-2 is up in the high rent district, and he runs the count full at 3-2. Kevin Takeuchi, the leading batting average man for USC, stands on deck. Full count pitch on the way from Yasa. A swing and a short dribbler over towards second. Stokes has it, fires to first. It's in time for out number one.
That's a good opening at bat there for Yasa. Cadena worked his way up in the count, but able to get the final ground out there, as now we'll take a look at the Nebraska defense.
Yeah, Jet Buck in left, Mac Moyer in center, Drew Grigo in right, Case Sanderson at first. He leads the Huskers in walks. Rhett Stokes at second, Dylan Carey at short, Josh Overbeek at third, and it's Trey Fikes behind the dish, managing the battery of him and Carson Yasa. First pitch to Takeuchi, tails away off the plate. He jumps ahead 1-0.
Yeah, interesting to see the switch between Wordley and Fikes here today. Maybe just a bit of a change from Yasa being on the mound.
As Takeuchi drills one to center, but Mac Moyer has a beat on it and splits the leather to the ball for out number two.
It'll be interesting to see how much the wind plays a factor. It certainly played a factor last night, but Moyer definitely had his work cut out for him. Maybe a bit of an easier time here today with some calmer winds, but good way to get his day going out there in center.
So that brings up the Trojan hitman, Augie Lopez, the DH. 11 home runs on the season with a 270 average. He's got 31 hits, 33 driven in with a 356 on base percentage. Like talked about in the open, 7 of those homers coming in the last 3 weeks of play. That's over the last 11 games. So a guy who is swinging a red-hot stick of dynamite right now.
Yeah, it's him and Cadena, as we mentioned, the two bats in this lineup that have really been power hungry as of late. And look to continue that here today. He was 1 for 2 yesterday, or 1 for 3 rather, but he scored, walked twice, so definitely a bat out of the 3-hole that you're going to want to be careful throwing to.
Yeah, so even it up at 1-1 this time. Lopez just a bit tardy on that inside fastball. Will send it down the third base line and fall behind 1-2. 2 outs already in the inning for Yasa, looking for the 1-2-3 inning. The 1-2 inside, cut the corner for strike 3. A 1-2-3 inning for Carson Yasa. Nobody gets on base. There's nobody left stranded. It's a 1-2-3 inning for the Big Red. They'll try to get the bats going in the bottom of the first. It's 0-0 as we head to the tail end of the first frame on Big Ten Plus. Up with the bases juiced. And he's already got 5 home runs. On the day is 0 for 1 with a flyout in the first. Shallow little pop-up that got caught by Matthew Totten. Second pitch on the way from Reimers. Also a no from home plate umpire Andrew Fulton. Brings the count to 2-0. Definitely don't want to issue a free pass here, Blake. Got to make some sort of competitive pitch here if you're Easton Reimers, wouldn't you think?
You'd think that, Justice, but it's tough against the go. Dylan Carey as Dylan Carey gets contact.
As Carey ropes that one down the left field line, but foul. That brings the count to 2-1, but he got a feel for where he wanted the ball, and the fastball just too far out in front was Carey.
Yeah, very tough batter to go up against. Your first up on the mound, first chance up on the mound, and it's against Dylan Carey, one of the best hitters in this Nebraska squad. And it's going to be a chance, if he sits him down, build some confidence off that.
As that pitch trails way outside, brings the count to a friendly 3-1 for Dylan Carey. And this is a guy who went undrafted in last year's MLB draft and came back to Nebraska with a chip on his shoulder, one of the senior leaders for Will Bolt's squad, and now a chance to really do some damage. And that pitch just outside, and Reimers, first batter he's faced, will head to first, and the Huskers play to run on a free pass. It's 2-1.
Yeah, now for Reimers, you got to wash that one away. Don't even think about it. It's tough because as he throws it here, you see it's looking and it gets low, just hangs it too low. Can't find the consistency of where he wants it to be at the strike zone. If you get that one to finish close there and throw a competitive pitch, it may be a different story, but a tough person to go up against at first.
Well, and it goes from bad to worse as he faces Case Sanderson, who takes a swing and chops it off of his foot foul. Sanderson reached on a single in the first. He's 1 for 1 on the day. The guy in the season with 7 RBIs definitely could look to add to that total with the right situation and the right pitch. Set at the belt, here's Reimers swinging a shot into center field. That'll get down for a base hit from Sanderson. Moyer across to home, and the Huskers go station to station, and Sanderson's single extends the advantage to 3-1.
Yeah, the Huskers are exactly where they want to be right now, and an opportunity just now to get Jet Buck up to the plate here. And really, it's just the RBIs and hitting it in the perfect spot. That hung right there in the middle of the strike zone. That one's an easy one to swing at.
Base is still juiced. Overbeek at third, Carey at second, and now Sanderson at first with Jet Buck up to the plate. In Buck's first appearance, he was one of the 4 Huskers hit by a pitch today. First pitch from Reimers up and out for ball 1. Well, they're plenty juice. Nebraska up 3-1. You were wondering about when the response would come, and this Husker offense has been primed and ready dating back to that Michigan State series. And it just feels like this game could crack open at any moment. A swing and a drive into center field. Chasing it is Timmons. That one will get over his head and off the top of the wall. 1 run is in from Overbeek. 2 runs is in as Carey scores. And it's an RBI double for Jet Buck, and the Huskers lead it 5-1.
5-1 scoring explosion in this inning to find consistency. It's not about always hitting the home runs. Now this one was tracking pretty deep. He had the wind sort of helping carry that ball, land in the perfect position right up on top of the wall. You can't land any better, and it's hard, for Timmons to make a play on that too, because you don't know where it's going to bounce off of.
Well, especially with a 15-mile-an-hour wind like we have today, it's blowing out towards that right center field gap, and that's exactly the stream that Buck got it caught in, and so it had no chance of getting out of here. Back inside Hawks Field at Haymarket Park, bases juiced, nobody out, 7-6. The Huskers are trying to play catch-up on Maine, and it's the sophomore Devin Nunez coming to the plate. But let's introduce you to the new right-hander for Maine, the senior Pierce Friedman from Swampscott, Massachusetts. Samuel, where in the world is that, and what can you tell us about the senior?
Yeah, what a name for a town right in between Boston and Salem, Massachusetts, just half an hour ride north of the bean capital. I mean, what a job that he has done. I mean, he's got 11 innings of work, but he also has given up 11 runs in the process. So if you're Nebraska, you're licking your chops right now. He's walked 10, he struck out 11. A lot of 11s hung here. Again, 11 runs, 11 innings, 11 strikeouts, the 10 walks. In the process, though, 5 doubles and 2 triples and a home run. Only 1 wild pitch on the year. Last appearance was against Dayton back on the 6th, where he only pitched 2 full innings.
So for Nebraska with nobody out, and life is often described as not always the end destination, but can you appreciate the journey along the way? Well, the Huskers had to embark on a treacherous one, and they're within a run. First pitch to Nunez is in there on the outside corner for strike one.
And again, they still have outs to work with, but the mindset can't be, oh yeah, we can go get one out and still be fine in this one. If you chop something the wrong way on the ground, it's a double play.
Infield is pressed in on Nunez. A swing and a high pop trailing towards that third base line. It will get out of play. That means Nunez falls behind quickly 0-2 on Friedman.
Well, and I feel like we saw this a lot earlier with Nebraska falling behind 0-2 and then working it back into a favorable count. I mean, take the last one, for example, in Overbeek, worked it all the way back to a full count. It was at 2-2 forever, and then he finally gets one ball outside, gets another. This bottom half of the lineup for Nebraska can really draw up these at-bats.
0-2 to Nunez, way upstairs, and he left it up there for 1-2. Nunez on the day, 1 for 4, struck out in the second, grounded out in the fifth, an RBI single in the sixth, and a fly out in the eighth. And if you remember back to last night's game against Maine, he was the runner on third when Grigo hit that RBI game winner. The 1-2 pitch to Nunez is just a bit outside, and the count runs even at 2-2, and Friedman can't believe it.
Yeah, that's really close, Justice. I mean, that's just off the outside, just like the one that Overbeek got aboard on the walk with. Nunez here, a great vision. See if he can do it one more time.
2-2, bases juiced, infield in, outfielders playing at a measurable depth. A half-hearted swing and a punch-out as Nunez will head back to the dugout. And a big-time strikeout for Pierce Friedman for out number one.
Huge strikeout for Friedman, like you said. But if you're Nebraska, that's the best scenario for an out. You get him swinging instead of putting something in play. And now Rhett Stokes, who hasn't had a great day either, 1 for 3, but he did have a double. So there is opportunity for some fireworks here for the shortstop.
And so a quick offensive timeout for Will Bolt as he'll talk it over with Rhett Stokes. Again with one out and the bases juiced. Anything, a sacrifice fly to the outfield might be enough if it depends on the depth, but if it's deep enough, might be able to score Case Sanderson at third.
Yeah, I mean, you just can't have it too close down the third base line. You know, if it is really far down the third base line, it's got to be at the corner, and at that point, if you're hitting it that far, it's just got to be out of here. But again, Maine playing in on the infield. Their foot's just on the first little bit of grass, and they're going to try and really cut down anything that does get weakly tapped in the infield.
So up steps Rhett Stokes, hitting .263 on the season, only 5 hits, but he does have the double in the fifth. First swing, it's through for a base hit. 1 run is in. Steaming towards the plate is Buck, and Rhett Stokes says good night in Lincoln. A walk-off, improbable RBI single for Rhett Stokes, and the Huskers come back from down 4 in the 8th inning, trailing coming in 7-3 to winning it 8-7 in cardiac fashion. There go those Huskers.
What a scene here at Haymarket Park, and again, a beautiful swing that time from Stokes over the second baseman. That's the risk you play with playing your guys inside. It got over the glove. He tried to jump up and get it, couldn't do so, and that is what propels the Huskers to their second walk-off win of the weekend.
Their best start to a homestand in the Will Bolt era, 9-0, and the path to get there was not the most conventional. They give up 7 runs in the 6th inning and somehow grind it back, giving up only 1 out in the bottom of the 9th. They score 5 runs on 11 hits and win it going away.